Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 288 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Now, when we get to 292, can you do some kind of like blood symbol? That's kind of like a... It's not a 9, it's a bird.
Make a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 9, right?
There you go.
To me it is.
Well, yeah, and then 2, 2, 2. I don't know which way you should face. Whatever.
I'm going to wait for 300.
If this is
303.
If this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, we are a couple of idiots who like to bring you the news of I'm completely messed up now. Two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like
Reboot.
them, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone betwixt, and hit that cute little bell to get notified whenever we put up a new video. If you only listen on audio services across the world, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where for just $1 a month, you become a booster, where you get the podcast live one day early before the public gets it. $5 makes you a producer, where you get a bonus episode every month. Sorry we're late on that. I should have posted it last week, but I have vacation brain. Sorry about that. It's going up tomorrow for the patrons. Monday, as we're recording this. $10 gets you to be an affiliate, where you can watch us record the podcast live on YouTube, just as a few of our friends are right now. And for $20, if you're crazy, you can become a partner, where you can choose the bonus episode topic and record with us if you so choose. Some of our patrons deserve shout-outs, just like our affiliates, James Solar, Sarah Solar, John Tingley, and Derek Bamford, as well as our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Dustin Downs. Yes.
James Solar, who currently is playing Fortnite instead of hanging out with us.
James. No, now he's going to pop in the chat. He's going to be like, no, I'm watching you on the Xbox. I'm playing on my PS5. That's what he's going to say. Watch.
Probably.
I have faith in you.
We love you, James. Even if you're not here.
I should try the no build thing, because that's the only way I could play that game.
I keep forgetting about it. Yeah.
If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. I'm in a better mood than I was last week. I had my staycation after my cruise was postponed. I didn't do a whole lot. We had a good staycation. I did, as I was saying before we went on the air, I put some shelves together in the garage. 6 shelving freestanding units in 100-degree heat, which in the garage was probably about 110 to 115. And then started cleaning outside the garage. It looks a lot better, doesn't it?
It looks a lot better, but I'm looking at the shelves and they're mostly empty. So I don't know where all the stuff that was on the floor went.
The curb out there, we threw out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And moved stuff around, and yeah. So that was fun, but that's really all I did. It was very boring. But
for
boring is
a
good.
Staycation.
Yeah. But I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Wah, wah.
I only did one more because you were doing it, and it was like, oh, we made the same womp. We made the womp noise. Now, don't go in here and edit and then go ooh, like you did last time. Before we get into everything else, you know it's 2022 when a horrible thing happens. Shinzo Abe, the former prime minister of Japan, was murdered. You can't have guns in Japan. Like, you can't buy them, you can't own them, nothing. He had a homemade gun.
Well, I don't think that's totally true. I don't know what the law is, but, and I'm sure everybody on Twitter knows exactly what they're talking about. But I keep seeing people saying, oh, guns are not legal there, but he was still killed. And then other people would be like, well, actually they are legal. They're just very highly regulated and hard to get. So I don't think they're illegal, but yeah.
Well, what I would guess is illegal is making one yourself and using it to shoot the former prime minister.
Did you see the video?
No.
So, I mean, it's not, I mean, it's kind of graphic.
Dad said it just sounded like it was like a cannon going
loud.
off.
Yeah. What's weird, and it's just kind of the sad state of us as a country versus probably basically any other country out there. He's talking, and then you hear, which I guess missed, because everybody's like, what the? The president turns around, and he goes down. If that's the U.S., as soon as that first one goes off, everybody is running. Everybody in this video is just like, huh?
Well, they're not used to getting shot at like we are here.
Like, it's just, it's
the
messed up.
state of the world.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm talking about this here is that this tweet comes from somebody named Nox Dawn. In a now deleted tweet, French far-right politician Damien Rieu, not Ryu, R-I-E-U, that would be Ryu.
How do you spell it?
R-I-E-U.
That might be Rue.
Well, that's what some people say Ryu's name is too. Accused the far left of murdering Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and used photos of game developer Hideo Kojima instead of pictures of the current suspect, Tetsuya Yamagami. And here's his tweet. Kojima. 3 pictures of Kojima. Making it look like, because he's wearing a Russian hat, and then he's next to, I don't know my communism guys. That's Fidel Castro or something. Who is that?
That would be my guess.
And then another, he's wearing a bag of it. So obviously Kojima, and he's wearing a Joker shirt. The guy deleted the tweet, of course, and Kojima Productions is threatening legal action because
As they should.
This dude, a politician, accused Hideo Kojima.
Oh, that's a politician?
Yes, in France. Accused Hideo Kojima of murdering the former prime minister.
Yeah, that's messed up. I was wondering if that was maybe Che Guevara, but I don't know my peeps.
Thank you. I don't know my commies. What the hell? Hideo Kojima, and Nick was like, well, I mean, Metal Gear is, well, you were there when he said it. Metal Gear is kind of violent. I'm like, shut up. It is, but it doesn't have to be. But the whole point of Metal Gear, if you don't know, it's not about war is good. It's war is bad. Nuclear weapons are bad. Peace is the way to go. But yeah, that guy's going to go murder the former prime minister.
Like, it's messed up, and nobody should be spreading the information. That being said, Curb. It just seems almost like something out of a Hideo video game. And it's the whole thing about if you control information, you can, like...
It's like if the Patriots were really in control.
It's weird that happened to Hideo.
The guy who...
Like, if it had been... I'm not trying to be racist, but any other Japanese person, like Miyamoto or whoever... It's still messed up, but with Hideo, it's almost, I don't know, there's just something
it's like
weird
eerie.
Because it's Hideo.
Because of Metal Gear Solid 2,
exactly.
Predicting the future, that he who controls the flow of digital information controls the world.
Right.
And here this guy's like, well, Hideo Kojima's a murderer. He's an assassin.
And when you control the mail, you control information. Seinfeld.
Is he saying they all look alike? That's exactly what I said, Derek. I was like, so this guy, not only is he dumb, but he's also racist. That's what I took from it.
I don't know that he's saying...
John says, not a commie, I just knew a few.
I don't know that he was even saying that. I mean, I don't know who this guy is. Like, did he really pick Hideo for a reason? Did he just look up famous Japanese people, like just found a guy? Like, I don't know.
He probably works for Konami.
Maybe.
That was a bad joke. It wasn't a bad joke. It just wasn't
It was a
funny.
good joke, but yeah.
It just wasn't funny. So I don't know. Only in 2020 to 2022 can we be on a video game podcast talking about Hideo Kojima being accused of being an assassin, the former prime minister of Japan.
Yeah.
Sean, do you have any witty banter? Did you go see Thor?
I didn't.
I have not. If in the chat, just don't spoil it. If you've seen Thor, let us know your thoughts. Or if you've seen it and you're watching this later, in the comments, let us know. That just kind of came out.
It seems like the majority of people hated it to it was fine.
It just seems like Taika Waititi.
Sarah said she liked it.
It seems like Taika Waititi went full Taika Waititi. Is what a lot of people are saying. Like he had the cuffs on with Ragnarok, and he made one of the best MCU movies, top 5, 6 for sure. And then here it was like, well, we're not leading up to anything. This whole this whole MCU thing is going nowhere. Yeah. So I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. And I'm like, okay.
And that sucks because like I was really
trying to get out of mail is the funniest.
I was really.
God,
I was really Seinfeld. Looking forward to it. Just the trailers are amazing. Like the Sweet Child of Mine playing in the back. Like it's just the trailer's amazing. I'm like, this is going to be this might be better than Ragnarok. And then then you start hearing what everybody's saying. And I'm sure I may see it and I may like it. I'm not saying because people on Twitter don't like it, it's objectively bad, but
right,
it makes me not as excited about it. And that's like 2 in a row. I'm not talking about Doctor Strange, but I was pumped for this. It's apparently not that good. I was pumped for
Black Widow.
Nope.
Eternals.
No,
you weren't
out of Marvel.
Venom too.
Dominion. That sucks.
Well, we haven't seen it.
But it's objectively. Yeah. I mean, that apparently I was kind of worried about because of Fallen Kingdom, and they're just like, well, they either pull a Rise of Skywalker and just make something that makes no sense, trying to undo what just happened, or they follow what Fallen Kingdom started, which is also just kind of dumb. I don't know.
My thing with Jurassic World Dominion, tangent, here we go. And maybe the movie explains it, but like, how is there a Gigantosaurus now when it's never existed before? You can't just go have a T-Rex in the wild, have sex with a Brontosaurus, and then they have a Giganosaurus or something. That's not how this works. So
something's missing here.
How are there...
You got the rooster, you got the hen. It's going to be a Seinfeld podcast.
But then how... But then, like, there's the new raptors, which are basically like Utah raptors, I guess. I forget what they called them, but they're huge. They look awesome in that Malta chase scene. Also, how are the dinosaurs getting overseas to Malta?
They ride with the pterodactyls.
So they're just like they're UPS now. The pterodactyls are like, hey,
life
raptor,
finds a way.
We're gonna fly 3,000 miles over the water, and you'll be fine. Yep. That's not what a raptor sounds like.
But anyways, I don't even know what we were talking about. Oh,
Thor.
Just being bummed about Thor apparently sucking and Jurassic World also apparently sucking.
My thing is this. So Jeremy Johns said he was the first review I watched, and I expected it to be awesome-tacular. And as he's going through it, I was like, oh. I mean, no spoilers or anything, but he ended it by saying this. It feels like it's a parody of an MCU movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh, that's not good. Bartolotta went to see it. I told him what Jeremy Johns said. You friggin' did it, you jackass.
Yeah, I did.
I told him what Jeremy Johns said. He said, yeah, that's it. And then Duncan Butler was also like, that is the perfect description of this movie. I'm like, if people I know don't like this, I'm like, I don't know. I'm Disney Plus now for this. I'm not going to spend
No, I think I am too. It sucks because, like...
James, we thought you were busy playing Fortnite.
I obviously love...
Because it showed that on PS5. I'm not being... on the PS app. I'm not being stupid.
I loved No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
I liked... Because now I see everybody... I think it was IGN posted, like, here's the 6 Phase 4 movies. Rank them. And a lot of people have Eternals near the bottom. And I didn't love it. That's one that I actually liked more than I thought I would. But I just don't care. And that's kind of how I'm at outside of Spider-Man. That's how I'm at with the MCU now. I'm like, I still kind of enjoy these movies, but I miss watching the movies before and being like, so what does this all mean?
Right.
What's going to happen now? What does this mean for the bigger picture? And right now,
there is no big picture.
No. Like the
Bring
Eternals,
me the X-Men.
The Eternals are all about like gods and stuff. And obviously you've got Thor, you've got Mrs. Thor, you've got Zeus in it. So I don't know if that's kind of the way they're going, but like Doctor Strange, again, I liked it. It was entertaining. Don't know that I really care about any of the
cameos
stuff.
And stuff, which might not actually be real things.
Right. Black Widow didn't really need to happen, or it needed to happen 10 years ago. Exactly. And then what else? Oh, Shang-Chi, apparently everybody loves. And I just haven't seen it yet.
I just don't care.
I'm guessing that's on Disney. That's another one that I'm guessing I'll be like, I really like that, but I don't care.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at now. I don't care.
And I don't care about Fantastic Four if they do bring them
I don't
in.
either.
I think they have announced that they're making a movie, right?
And they've also basically said that it ain't Krasinski. That was like fan service.
That's what
Here,
I thought,
we'll give you a Krasinski, Richard Reed, but that's like alternate universe. Yeah. I don't know. I think until the X-Men come or we start getting more, whatever the next Spidey is, I can't get into it anymore. I don't know. And it sucks because...
And Captain America 4 is being directed by some guy that did the Cloverfield Paradox, and I'm like,
Even that, I'm like,
no, but that's what I'm saying. I was excited for it, but now I'm
Yeah.
like, these idiots are doing this. This is gonna. Why aren't the Russos? Bring back the Russos?
yeah.
And that movie on Netflix, The Gray Man, looks like it's going to be pretty decent with Captain America playing a bad guy, Chris Evans.
Well, Chris Evans is not Captain America.
Yes, he is. His hair looks good in that movie too, but not as good as when it was long.
But I don't know. It's all kind of depressing, but
I just don't.
they can keep spitting these movies out and keep making $1 billion a pop, so
that's
they're
what
not
I
going to
wonder,
stop.
though. This made 302 million worldwide, something like that, and it'll change when the numbers actually come out tomorrow. But it's somewhere around there, I think. I feel like the drop off, like Maverick, made a shit ton of money, and then it just only dropped a little bit. Every weekly drop was like less. It's like the lowest drop ever. And
No, I feel like the people that really wanted to see this have already seen it and probably already seen it despite the reviews.
Right. I feel like this is going to drop off like Batman vs. Superman.
This might hit.
I'm not saying it's as bad as that or whatever.
We were saying it was 300 domestic or
302
worldwide?
No, worldwide. It was around 145, 150 domestic.
This, I'm going to guess, ends at 600-ish. It may not hit 700. Certainly not going for $1 billion. So
Derek just started Moon Knight. I like it, but the gods and how they fit in the MCU makes no sense.
another one with gods. That's right. So clearly they're doing something.
So is Galactus a god? Isn't that who they're going to build to?
I assume it's Galactus, but
What a dumb name.
I mean he's huge.
I don't care.
Moon Knight is another one that
Apocalypse was huge too, and then he was just like, I'm Oscar Isaac and I'm purple.
Moon Knight.
I know. It's all connected. It's all
It's all pipes. It's all Seinfeld. Moon Knight, I think I missed the first 2 episodes. Brittany was watching it, and I just started watching it while she was watching it. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
It seemed fine, but again, I didn't really care. I haven't watched. I'd love to hear your review of Ms. Marvel. I'm kidding. I haven't watched that at all. I don't care about She-Hulk. I don't know what the next announced Marvel thing is that I actually care about.
For me, it's
the
Captain America
closest
4.
would be Captain America, and even that, I'm kind of like, give me Chris Evans, please.
Why can't they both be Captain America?
Yeah, I don't know. It's depressing, but
I don't know. It's not that I'm superheroed out. I'm sick of. If I don't care about a movie, I don't care about it. Like the Batman was amazing. Spider-Man was amazing. Doctor Strange, the first 10 minutes looked like it was made for TV, and I know people on Twitter were like, "No, you got to keep watching. It gets much better after that."
What's weird, we'll move on from movies at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
It's just funny how much things have changed, but FX was doing like a Marvel marathon thing today. Apparently going in just a random order, because I caught the end of Infinity War, and then Thor came on next.
The first one?
The first one. Whatever. Now, obviously, that was before it was Marvel. Before it was like it was the MCU. What am I trying to say? Before they actually had like Marvel Studios or whatever. Like when it starts, it's like, it does say something like Marvel Studios, but I know they changed what they're referred to as. But it was like Marvel Studios with Paramount Pictures or something like that, and it just seemed out of place. Like when
did Disney? I can't remember when they bought them. It was after Star Wars, I think. I don't know. None of it matters. The Batman was awesome. We're gonna get the Batman 2. We're gonna get another Spider-Man at some point. I hope we get an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie fighting Venom. I hope that's what Venom 3 is. Tom Hardy said the script's done. He shared a picture of it like a month ago.
Yeah.
I don't care about Venom, but I mean, if it's in if it's in Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Garfield's universe, now I'm in.
Yeah.
But call it The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Don't call it Venom.
Yeah, don't call it Venom 3. Separation anxiety.
Kevin doing his gym in the office. Yeah, Ms. Marvel, I could not give 2 flips about. I still haven't even watched Obi-Wan. But like I was telling you, I saw that the 4.5 hours of Obi-Wan got edited down to a 2.5 hour movie by somebody.
If there's a way you can actually get that and watch it, I 100% recommend, if you want to watch it that way. Yeah. But before we move on.
Yes.
Because I mentioned this to you, and I kind of just want to call it out in front of everybody, just because I think it'll be an interesting mind F kind of thing.
Whoa. I was supposed to be Keanu. That was a bad Keanu.
When we talk about our early childhood memories and stuff. We've both admitted that a lot of our memories are just what we have on video. Our parents got their camcorder in 1989, basically right before Christmas 1989.
It was like late November or early December, right? It was after our birthdays.
Yeah, it was after birthdays for sure. Like one of the first things that's on there is like our Christmas school concerts. Or
oh my
whatever,
God, do you remember the next
decorating the tree and stuff?
Next summer we had a cookout and Dad just set up the camcorder on a
recorded us
tripod and
eating.
recorded everybody eating.
But anyways, I say all this because our dad was born 1950. We got this in 1989.
Oh, great. Here we go.
And so one of the first things that's on there is our dad, recording us for like our wish list to send to Santa. And I'm talking about Mario 3. Kevin's like, it's not even out yet. Whatever. But anyways.
This isn't Japan, Sean.
This is getting to something. Our dad was born in 1950. So he was 39 at this time. When we got our camcorder, he was 39. Kevin here is now the ripe old age of 40. And it just boggles my mind that you now, and I mean, I say this like I'm 27. I mean, I'm not far behind you. You are now older than Dad was when we first started having home movies. Does that just like, because like
Dad seems so
you're
old.
still my brother. You basically, I don't think of you as being 40.
No.
But I always think of Dad as being like old
man.
because to us
Not
he always
old,
was.
But like mature and stuff.
But it's just weird to think of you right this second being older than Dad was, even way back then. I don't know. It blew my mind.
I'd have to go back and look.
That.
What made you think of this?
What did make me think of it? I don't remember.
I'd be interested to go back and look at those first tape. The first time he shows up on camera, if I have more gray hair than he did.
The funny thing is, we don't have a lot of videos of Dad because he was
pretty
much
behind the camera,
So, but I'm sure he was already pretty gray then. Which I mean,
oh, I'm gray. You don't gotta say nothing. You're one to talk too. You might be more grayer than I am. More grayer.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's all. I just had to bring that up.
Yeah.
Oh, and then one last thing.
Age is relative.
Don't really want to talk about it for spoiler purposes, but I finished Stranger Things. It was awesome.
There you go, Derek.
I had the same crisis when I turned 40. How old I was when my dad was 40. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what it was. I think I was thinking about, I'm done having kids, and I'm 30. I don't know, 7. And I started thinking,
Thank you for not
when
lying.
did Dad? Oh crap! Yeah, I'm not 37.
Yeah.
And I think I was going down that path when I thought about that.
Well, yeah,
but
I was 8 in '89. Dad was 39.
so he was
now
31.
I'm 40, and I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Happy birthday, Liza, by the way.
Okay, yeah. So Casey to you now is basically what you were to Dad, and I'm Eliza. They're 3 years apart.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
actually that's spot on.
So it'd be like you recording them for a list to send to Santa, with Eliza saying what she wants for Christmas, and then Casey crushing
going,
her dreams.
Dumbass, that's in Japan only right now. Gabby's Dollhouse doesn't have that here. It's in Japan.
Oh God. Yeah. So I finished Stranger Things. Really, really good. The last episode, so basically 7, 8, and 9 were all awesome. I don't really want to talk about it for spoiler purposes. Don't worry, you don't need to fast forward or anything, but it was really, really good. I think you 100% need to watch it. I don't even remember what happened in season 2, and it hasn't affected me at all.
But I also didn't see season 3. Did they do anything like a last time on?
I think... Did they? I kind of think they did. And I think it was all from season 3. I don't think they went back to season 2. But I think they do start out with that. And it was like 2 or 3 minutes long, if I remember correctly. There was something I watched recently that did have a recap. And it was really,
James,
really
we're
long.
old.
And I don't remember what it would have been if not Stranger Things. But it was unbelievable. You definitely need to watch it.
One thing I will be watching tomorrow is... Finally, Better Call Saul.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the name of the episode is?
No, I haven't looked.
Okay, I won't say.
I mean, you can tell me. I don't know.
It's called Point and Shoot, which is
Okay, so they're doing that for the whole season.
I thought it was. A lot of people thought that was going to be a first half thing, and then the second half. But now a lot of people are saying there's going to be an episode called Walt and Jesse.
No,
I think that's too obvious.
because it's like point and shoot, black and blue, hit and run,
Axe and grind.
Yeah, they're all like. I'm sure we could. If we thought
Pork
about
and beans.
Pork and beans. Shake and bake.
Point and shoot. Obviously, it doesn't mean Lalo's going to shoot Kim. That's not what it means, you know. But axe and grind. That was accurate.
Grit and grind.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
No one gets out of life alive. You're damn right, Derek. All right, Sean. I know one game you've been playing because you got a platinum. What else have you played?
So I did platinum. That's why I was on the PS app. I'm like, what have I played lately? I did get the platinum in The Messenger. I think I've started and platinumed it since we last recorded.
No. You talked about it last week.
Oh, did I?
We
talked about it, but I couldn't remember if I talked about it on the podcast.
We just podcasted like 5 days ago. It's been very short.
Yeah, maybe. But anyways, it was a game I totally forgot that I never played, let alone platinumed on PlayStation.
If you have not played The Messenger, especially if you have PlayStation Extra, go freaking download it and play it. The game is amazing. It's not just Ninja Gaiden. It's Ninja Gaiden meets time travel meets Metroidvania. It's a very doable platinum.
Awesome soundtrack, awesome writing, very
my favorite,
meta, very...
My favorite old school soundtrack since Shovel Knight.
Yes.
And it's up there with it. That's saying something.
Yeah.
And the writing is so damn good. Oh, it's so... The Messenger is freaking amazing.
So I haven't played a whole lot. I did get that. You go. I did get that platinum.
Derek, let me know where you got Kenobi from. Is it just on YouTube or something? Or
nice.
Torrent or whatever? Let me know.
So I beat it last night, yeah. And then all I had left was defeat Queen of Quills or whatever her name is.
Oh, you had gotten all the Power Stones before?
Yeah, I had already done all that. I forgot. So I know you go into the music box. I forgot there was like a whole level in there. I was thinking that was just you go in the music box, you fight a boss. Oh. I totally forgot that the final boss was like not very difficult.
Like the hands and stuff?
I smoked him. It was like the guy who does like the little dimension things where, you know, there's like 8-bit, 16-bit, whatever, and like things going across and like there's lightning at the bottom that you have to like jump, whatever. So when you're fighting one of the guys, that's before the final boss. When the hands are going like this with the lasers, you got to jump up and hit the big head and stuff. So you thought what I thought. I remember that guy. Unless I did something wrong, you don't fight that guy. That's like the super storekeeper guy. Like when they all like combine their powers.
You fight him. You jump up on the hands. He goes across the screen with pink lasers coming out.
That's what I thought. I didn't fight this guy.
How the hell? What? How?
No, he was like you beat the guy. His name is Phantom. In the music box. Phantom of the Opera.
I almost did it.
And then he creates like a mask, Phantom, that's like a wireframe, like 3D looking thing. But then you get together with the queen. Now good Queen of Quills and all your little shopkeeper buddies and maybe somebody else. And you all like kind of Captain Planet and make that guy. But that's like the good, that's like you, that's them, that's all them combined. And it's like, and he's shooting a beam down. Like,
are we thinking of a different game?
I don't know, but I was getting ready to fight that guy. And then the trophy popped for like beating the game. I'm like, what? I beat it? So I was very confused because the Phantom guy was not very difficult.
So that's just a cutscene? I remember this.
So then I started wondering, I'm like, did I not get like the true ending or something? Yeah, there's the mask.
Oh, I'm thinking
all your people get together.
It's Cyber Shadow, I think.
But exactly what you were describing with like pink lasers and going back and forth, that's exactly what I was expecting, and then it just didn't happen.
No, because I never played Guacamelee.
Anyway, so I beat it. Then I had to go do the Queen of Quills thing without dying. So I went ahead and just dove right into that after beating it. That's a lot further into the game than I remembered. I was thinking it was like the second, maybe third area, but it was like the first area. Then you go to the fortress, but then you just drop down because the bridge isn't there. You have to go through like the catacombs, the cave, like the rainforesty, jungly area. Like it was like the 6th or 7th area. And it wasn't too bad, but I definitely had some close calls. Like I almost got squished once because I ran into a room that I didn't know was going to have like the moving things. So that would have killed me instantly. I almost fell in a pit once, but I like double jumped out and grapple thinged away. So I
don't know
beat
how
that
I
on
did
my
it
first
so
try.
early on.
I don't know.
When we were looking up my trophies.
But I mean, I did it on my first try, but it took 45 minutes or so. It was a lot further into the game than I remembered. But yeah, so I got that platinum. I briefly played Crash Bandicoot 4.
How bad was that? Do you remember the chase? Well, obviously you just played it.
Oh, I think I beat it. I beat it on my second try.
I died
it
like
wasn't
20
as bad.
times at that on Switch.
The first time, yeah.
Yeah.
I beat it, I think, on my second time. This time through.
Okay.
I played a little bit of Crash Bandicoot 4 just to see what it was like.
Oh, nice. Is it just Crash?
It's just Crash. They haven't really changed. I mean, maybe, granted, I only got into the second level, and then I'm like, this isn't for me. It just seems, I'm sure the game gets difficult. I looked into a platinum.
Chris Raygun said it's really tough.
So there's a platinum, and on PSN Profiles or whatever the website is, it says it's 100 hours to platinum, and it's like a 9 out of 10 difficulty.
F that.
So I'm like, okay, well, that's not happening, but I at least want to play it. I'm sure the game gets more difficult as you go in, like further, but like it seems very easy. It seems very repetitive. I know I'm basing that off of like 1.5 levels, but in general, I know what Crash Bandicoot is. It's not for me. I've already deleted it, I think. Oh, I tried. It's not even on here. Why isn't it on here? I tried Wild Arms. I think I'm already done with that one too. It's
really?
It looks like a game I would love, but just they don't really explain anything to you. I don't know. I guess the game is old enough to where they expect you to have like an instruction manual, and they're like, just look in there, you can figure. Like, there's no in-game tutorial. It's just like you're off and running. And all the like in-battle menu system, there's no words. It's just like pictures. I'm like, well, I don't even know what, if I selected that, what is it even going to do? So I was very confused. It's like real old school turn-based where just the transition from the overworld to like the battle seems like it takes a long time. The first enemies, which you think would die pretty quickly, are not. It was just moving very, very slow. So that one didn't hook me either.
There it is. I knew I wasn't crazy. Arcane Golem. But it's it's earlier in the game. See? You jump on the thing.
Maybe I fought him.
You just probably forgot. Because you have
that's right. You fight him in like the Tower of Time.
Before, yeah, that's the Tower of Time. You're right. Okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. I
So
was
you
like,
do
I'm
fight
losing
him.
my freaking mind here. Okay.
Okay, I feel better now.
So wait, what'd you say after Wild Arms?
So I also downloaded Little Nightmares.
Derek made it 24 hours. I know I should play Guacamelee. You're right. I will say, not
20 hours
Guacamelee,
before I
but
stopped.
Severed is freaking awesome. If you've got a Vita, or actually it's on Switch too. Best game ever on Vita, in my opinion. Play Severed.
I downloaded Little Nightmares. I was just looking through the catalog
What is
again,
Little
trying to find a game to play. I don't know if it is, but it looks like it would be. It kind of reminds me of,
You're getting your money's worth out of this.
well,
PS
I am, but
Plus.
I'm not. I've played a lot of
Oh,
games,
yeah.
but other than Messenger and Blasphemous, I don't think I've played any of them for longer than 20
I've heard
minutes.
of Little Nightmares, but I can't.
It's this game. I don't know. You kind of just walk around.
Okay.
It kind of, in my mind, it was kind of like a Limbo and...
Oh, okay.
But I don't know that it is. It doesn't look like that, but it's got the same kind of atmosphere, I guess. But I don't know what I think yet. It's a relatively easy platinum. It's like an 8-hour or so platinum. But it's another game where they just... it's just like start game and you're going. They're not really explaining anything. It's pretty much, you have a lighter so you can see when you go into dark areas.
Okay.
There's enemies that remind me of like the very first enemies in Out of This World, the little leeches.
Ugh. God, those cutscenes were so good.
And to my knowledge, I can't attack. I've tried everything. I can't attack. So I think you just have to run away from them. Maybe you can attack later. I'm not sure what I think of it yet. It's not really doing it for me yet, but maybe. And then I downloaded and finally loaded up Cuphead just to make sure. Because I'm like, I don't know, how do you access the DLC? So I just downloaded my PS4 save, which is 100% platinum.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
But yeah, so basically you go into the third world, like the world right before the casino or whatever, and you get a little pop-up like, hey, come see me over here. I got something to show you. And then that's what takes you to the DLC.
I hope I still have my save. I mean, I've never even deleted it.
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Right.
Remember, when I switched my Switch, I lost all my save.
But I played it after I got my new Switch. Yeah.
Right, but you actually backed everything up anyway. So
and I
you're
did
fine.
that, yeah.
So I think it'll be fine. But yeah, you just go to the third area and it kind of starts it there, I think. But I haven't played any of it. We're still going in completely blind. I walked around the overworld map a little bit, but I didn't go into any.
Oh, God. We are going to be so rusty. Do you want the 8-bit dough or do you want the Pro controller?
I don't care.
Because I'm
good with either.
Well, you're better, so you should have the pick.
I mean, when I first played it, I used the Pro and it was fine. I'll use this. That's fine. I like the grippies.
Oh, 8-bit dough. Not sponsored. They freaking rock.
That 8-bit dough. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Messenger and then a whole lot of little bits elsewhere.
A whole lot of little bits elsewhere. All I played this past week was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, and I finally got the platinum.
Brava.
Not an overly difficult platinum. As I was saying to somebody on Twitter the other day, the hardest things are the 250, get up to a 250 hit combo.
And you got that legit.
You got to do it without getting hit. Yeah, I could never get the April juggle thing to work.
Were you like getting close and you're like, oh, no, God, come on?
I got up to like,
I got it.
I got up to like 40 one time doing the juggle. And then after.
No, but I'm saying when you actually got it, were you like getting close and you were just.
There was another time when I did that. I got up to like 212, 215. And then one of the guys like I kept doing it on level 1 because I was playing that over and over again just to get points and to try to get the 250. And all of a sudden, like, I looked at the score and was like, oh, shoot. And then I forgot that it was after I kill these enemies, then a blue foot soldier is going to teleport and go down. Yeah. Not one of the sword guys, the guys that come down.
Yeah.
And he got me, and I was like... But then I just was like, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to I played with Casey and Nick. We did some 3-player co-op. It was a lot of fun. And then finally I got to where it was just Leo that I had to level up the way I wanted it. I wanted Leo, my favorite turtle. Although in this... Not my favorite turtle.
Honestly, for some reason, I kind of feel like Raph is my favorite.
I think Raph is my favorite turtle. I think,
but I would
Casey's
rather play than
overall.
Yeah, I would say Casey. I'm not sure April's not up there. Like
April's because she's really fast. Donnie is really close to being my favorite, but his first attack is so slow. Once you connect and you combo, then you're good.
Yeah.
This made me think of that video. I wish you could find that video where they were breaking down every turtle and what's good at what and everything.
Oh yeah.
The only reason I don't that Leo's not my favorite is his, and they probably said this in that video. His super attack has like the shortest duration. Whereas Donnie's like...
This is it. I never watched the video, but this is what I saw. So Raph is the fastest taunter. Splinter has the strongest flying super attack. Leo, somersaults. Okay, that's just his move.
That is
Casey's the slowest taunter. Donnie's long range, obviously. Aerial Queen for April. I don't know. I guess she's just good. Buggy dive kick. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, that was what I saw. I never watched.
But do you know what I mean? If you think, I know you haven't played as recently as I have, but if you think back to Leo, like I love Leo until you do his super because it's so short.
So they don't. I mean, they've got. Speaking of tier maker, they've got Raph at the bottom. He's probably my favorite turtle. But they've got 3 of the 4 turtles at the bottom, which kind of goes along with what we were saying. But
interesting.
Yeah, awesome game.
It's going to be interesting to see where it ends up on my top 10 list. I can't see it being out of the top 5 unless Crisis Core actually comes out. We'll cover that when we get to it.
Yeah, but we got God of War and Last of Us still to come.
Last of Us Part 1 will count in our top 10.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't think I will rank it as high as I did I mean, who knows? Maybe it blows me away and I'm like, it's better than Elden Ring. I don't know. But right now, I can't see anything, even a game we're going to talk about here in a minute, topping Elden Ring, but you never know.
Maybe.
Don't have to worry about Forspoken.
I don't want to talk about it.
Sean, you want to get the news of the week?
Let's do it.
God of War. So, of course, the morning after we recorded last week, God of War's out November 9th. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. We spent like 15 minutes talking about the drama and when we think the date is going to be. Is it going to be 11/11? Is it going to be this? Is it going to get delayed? Blah, 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 blah. Thanks, Sony, for taking the win out of our sales. But I don't care. I thought it was pretty funny. From IGN, God of War Ragnarok is officially launching November 9th for PS4 and PS5. That is a Wednesday.
It's an odd choice.
Following rumors about a delay into 2023 and reassurances from the developers, the sequel to 2018's God of War reboot is indeed set to arrive this year. The news was accompanied by a short new CG trailer titled Father and Son, which shows off Kratos and Atreus. Wait.
Kratos and Atreus fighting off multiple threats, including an absolutely enormous wolf. Incidentally, that wolf might well be Fenrir, who in Norse mythology is the son of Loki. How would that be possible with who Loki is in this game? I'm not going to say it. Well, but also in Norse mythology, Loki is not... Somebody doesn't even exist in Norse mythology. Norse mythology. So clearly, they're already taking some liberties. I think Fenrir just being in it is pretty cool. When I think of Fenrir, I think of Final Fantasy. Because in pretty much every game, there's always a wolf, like a pretty basic wolf creature.
Really?
Named Fenrir, yeah.
Well, that's cool. If you played the last game in the series, that's a, there you go, ... complicated idea. Sony also announced that pre-orders will open on July 15th and showed off 4 separate editions of the game, including one with a full replica of Thor's Mjolnir. Did I get it?
Yeah.
Guillermo. After being announced for a 2021 release, the return of Kratos and Atreus was eventually delayed into 2022, apparently because of surgery undergone by lead voice actor Christopher Judge. Previous reports, including IGN's own sources, said the game was originally set to launch in September but was pushed back to November. God of War Ragnarok picks up the Norse reboot for the classic action series, and a gameplay trailer showed us a familiar fantasy combat and family bickering. The game will finally include... The game will finally... I need to go back to drinking. Will finally introduce Thor, and will seemingly introduce some exciting changes to the action systems. That seems like that paragraph was written by an AI.
Yeah.
So, November 9th, they didn't go for it. And I've seen, or I heard a lot of people, like on GameScoop, they were talking about this. Why didn't they just go 11/11/22?
I don't know. I hope they weren't just trying to go so far the other way to not, rub it in their face that they're like, nah, we shouldn't do it. Like, I don't know. But, like, why on a Wednesday? There's no significance to 11/9. Like,
Wednesday is the day of Odin. Somebody said that. Oh. But then Thursday is Thor Day, kind of, or something. So Thor's Day. Yeah, so, I mean...
But coming out on a Wednesday instead of a Friday gives us both a chance to beat the game
we
before
might
we
actually
record
beat it
next.
Before we record.
I'm going to be on parental leave, so
yeah.
I got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be a parent.
Yes.
But I'm going to beat the game before we record that weekend.
I'm interested to see how long it is, because the other one was, 20 hours or so? I think it took me about 45 to get the platinum.
Sounds about right, yeah.
It was one of the biggest social media posts ever for PlayStation. A few hours after it went up, it had like 118,000 likes on Twitter, almost 1 million likes on Instagram. It was Sony Santa Monica's most liked tweet ever. So it seems like people are way more hyped for this, probably with good reason, than they were for Horizon 2.
Yeah.
I like how at the end of the trailer he says, "Remember this, you are not alone." Although that scares me. Are they finally going to kill him? Because we thought they killed him in 3. They did not, obviously. It's the same Kratos.
I don't think so.
That one line scared me. Now, it doesn't sound like he's dying or anything.
No, I don't think they ever kill him, honestly.
So these collector's editions, they're really highlighting Guillermo. Mjolnir. I think they're highlighting it for a reason. I don't think Thor's the final boss.
Okay, you're going the same way I am.
Yeah.
I 100% think you wield Mjolnir in this.
Is
because
Kratos
of
worthy?
what they've already done with whatever it's called, the axe in the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You throw it and then you call it back. Like, hello, you're going to wield Mjolnir in this game. However, that only makes sense if Thor's dead. Which means Thor, I don't know what they're doing. Thor is not the final boss in this game. I will call it right now.
No, it's got to be Odin. Or if maybe, it might even be that you fight him like the stranger. I'm not going to say who. If you haven't played it yet, I'm not going to say who the stranger was. Got some things for sale. But you fight him a few times before the final fight. I wouldn't be surprised if you fight Thor. I wouldn't be surprised if if this game starts off with you fighting Thor. If it picks up right where the post-credit scene left off in the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think maybe you fight him a couple times and then maybe he comes around to see that his dad's crazy and what. I don't know. I don't know if for this one that Kratos is going to curb stomp every Norse god there is. He's going to have to fight Freya at some point because she pissed. Mm. She could be the final boss.
There's a lot to cover in this game.
There was a picture shared from PlayStation Arabia, I think it was, that shows her. They're riding like a dog sled or something, Kratos and Atreus, and she's jumping in with a sword like this. And I'm like, oh, Freya pissed.
Wow.
As she should be. It is weird that we only got a CG trailer, but to me that says we're going to get, if Gran Turismo 7 gets its own state of play, this is going to get a state of play for sure.
Yeah.
But I wonder, we still haven't seen gameplay from The Last of Us Part 1. That's out in less than 2 months. That's out in a month and a half, for crying out loud. It's September 2nd, I think, right?
Something like that.
That's right around the corner. We got to be getting close to a showcase.
You would think, yeah.
Ubisoft's doing one in September. PlayStation's got to do one. They got to do one. They got to do one. They got to show this. They got to show The Last of Us Part 1. And they got to give us some kind of hint about what's coming after these games other than Spider-Man 2. People keep saying 2023. Don't hold your breath on that one.
It depends on what they do with it. If it's literally just in New York again, which...
I know.
I know Spider-Man is New York. I get that. But, like... Come on. They got to do something else. But if they don't, that game can't be too far off.
Well, Breath of the Wild's using the same map, and it's taken them 6 years to make that damn game.
Well, that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
So the other thing I was thinking, and I don't really know a whole lot about Norse mythology, but
I never finished
Neil
Gaiman's
know
book. I should have.
I liked it, and then I felt like I liked the beginning.
Yeah.
And then it just turned into just a bunch of, like, I don't know. It was weird.
Like short stories or something.
Yeah.
And then I fell off it. Yeah.
I don't really know what the story of Ragnarok is. I know it's like a battle that's like, it's the end of the world. But in MCU Ragnarok, they're fighting that giant like lava demon thing. Like, I don't know. I can't remember what his name was in the movie. I'm sure that was
Blarg.
something. That's right, Blarg. I'm sure that was something pulled more or less from Norse mythology and probably has something to do with Ragnarok. Does that thing make an appearance in this? Is that thing, whatever that was, the final boss? Are you trying to stop Ragnarok? Is Ragnarok in inevitability? And you just, I don't know. We
haven't seen the
Natalie Portman show up? Do we get?
He said it's Jane Foster. I hope they have a ton more of rhetorical questions in the next game, says Derek. John says what Sony needs to do is show something that isn't a sequel or a remake. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. We haven't seen the land serpent in anything yet, have we? Was he in the first trailer they showed when everybody was like, oh, the boat animation?
I don't remember.
Because he didn't like die in the first
No.
game. Are you going to replay the first one?
I almost started that today.
Okay.
But then I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, there's a God of War. Oh, I can play it on PS5. And I'm like, well, if I just download from PS Plus, I don't know if it'll let me. Do I need to go and actually put my disc in? So that's why I was like, nah, I don't feel like messing with it now.
See.
But, yeah, I mean, now's probably the time. What I'm tempted to do is play it with a guide so I can just get all the collectibles and crap along the way and then figure out if I want to actually try to platinum it.
If I can do it,
is it basically just get all the beat the game, get all the collectibles, and then do all the
it's
optional
been so
boss
long.
things?
Yeah, you got to do all the Valkyries. You got to get up to level 9. You probably got to max out all your skill trees. It's been so long since I did it that I can't honestly, because I did it when it came out. I can't remember. It wasn't difficult in the amount of stuff you had to do. There are a lot of collectibles though. I do remember that. And then you got to kill all the ravens and all that BS.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'll probably just play with a guide to just do as much of that on my way through as I can, so I have less cleanup if I decide to get the platinum.
But the hardest part, was doing. It was only the 2 Valkyries were tough. It was the one in Niflheim. I think it was Niflheim, the fire realm. Mm-hmm. Because even to get to him, you got to go through all these like arena challenge things where just waves of enemies and stuff. So that was difficult. But then when you actually get to him, he was tough. But you start back there if you die. There's checkpoints and stuff. Okay. And then obviously the queen, Sigrun.
Yeah.
Loki brings about Ragnarok. Well, that's really friggin' interesting in this game.
I don't know. It's going to be good.
Last question. Do you think it gets delayed? I don't think so.
At this point, no.
They took so long to actually put a date on it. I got to think it's almost gold at this point.
I mean, we're
4 months.
Less than 3 months. 4 months. Crap.
No, you can't do math.
4 months away. But, I mean, Forspoken just got delayed, and that's coming out in October.
Well,
so
I think, whatever, we'll jump ahead here. I think that got delayed because Sony was like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
We've got The Last of Us, and then we've got Ragnarok.
They pretty much said in the announcement, like, the game is basically done.
And they said, after checking with our strategic partners, I'm like, Sony told you to hold it till January. We don't need it right now.
Yeah.
God of War, cannot wait. We'll see if it can top Elden Ring for me. It would take a lot. It would have to be at least as good as the first game, and I'm not expecting it to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if I like it better.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the connection to the series like you did. While I thought that moment was awesome, I think it meant way more to you than me. I thought the first game was good to great. And maybe when I replay it, I'll be like, okay, I'm not giving it enough credit. I don't know. This has a chance to be a better story than the first one. Horizon, I pretty much knew. I don't know how you top the story from the first one.
They did not. Cut to Ron Howard.
And I think the gameplay was marginally better. I think in this, the gameplay has a chance to be more of an improvement from the first one than Horizon 2 was to Horizon 1. And I think the story's got a chance to be better. Now, this is also out on PS4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's better.
The other
For
thing too,
me, not the general consensus, but I think I might like it better.
Well, first off, 2 things. It'll be interesting to see when you replay this, and now that you're kind of like, Spider-Man, it's always New York, whatever. It'll just be interesting to see if anything changes there. Also, remember, this is only a duology. This is not a trilogy. This is it.
They've said that?
Yes. They have said that it's not a trilogy. This ends the Norse saga. Now, if they kill him, who knows? I don't think they probably don't kill him. And there was rumors they wanted to do Egypt or whatever. There's other pantheons that they've rumored.
I mean, Rome and Egypt are kind of the next.
Yeah. Or you can go fight Jesus. And I say that as a Christian. It's okay to make jokes. All right. I'm hyped. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Next up, it looks like E3 is actually back for real this time. This comes from Game Informer. E3 will return to LA Convention Center in 2023 during the second week of June after a 3-year hiatus. The last E3 event happened in 2019. Wrong. It was last year.
Yeah.
Good job, Game Informer. No wonder they're laying everybody off. due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2020 event was canceled. It skipped out on 2022 as well. They don't even mention 2021.
Yeah.
I think what they meant to say is the
I'd
last
like to forget
in-person E3
Right.
was 2019. But E3 is set to return next year, this time with the help of ReedPop, a formidable name. That's a hard word to say. Formidable. It's not. In the world of organized events such as this, ReedPop is the organizer/event producer behind PAX, FPAX, Star Wars Celebration, New York Comic Con, and more. ReedPop president Lance Fensterman, I said that right, says it's an honor and privilege for the company to take on the responsibility of bringing E3 back in 2023, and that with the support and endorsement of the ESA, it plans to build a, quote, world-class event to serve the global gaming industry in new and broader ways. ReedPop's global vice president of gaming, Kyle Kish, will lead the newly reformed E3 team in its global gaming live event responsibilities. He says the team has been listening for years while studying the international gaming community's feedback in regards to E3. As a result, Marsden Kish says the team plans to reshape what didn't work and set a new benchmark for video game expos in 2023 and beyond. Don't forget that following a massive breach of security that led to hundreds, if not thousands, of people's personal data, such as phone numbers and addresses, being leaked online, the ESA says a, quote, streamlined and secure media registration for E3 2023 will begin in late 2022.
We got to remember to do that.
Yeah. According to the company, exhibitions, hotel and travel guides, event schedules, and more will be shared in the coming months. I don't want people doxing me at my house, man. We got crazy amounts of fans out there. Bob Mackey's gonna come
maybe
for
we
me.
shouldn't.
Bob Mackey's going to come for me. I'm of two minds of this. This year made me really realize I really miss E3. With everything scattershotted around and like we still don't have a Nintendo Direct. We don't have a Sony gaming showcase thing.
Yeah, but do you think...
You can't have E3 if the publishers don't want to be there. Otherwise, it's just PAX. It's just people going and trying out video games.
But if there's going to be an E3, they need to start it now.
Yes.
So
But
they've already
Sony-
decided it's going to happen. Sony may be like, this sucks. We're not attending. Nintendo may do this. Like, this just may be Summer Game Fest again.
Oh, it was funny because Jeff, after this news broke, Jeff Keighley was like, hey, we'll be back next year with Summer Game Fest. Like, I love Keighley. The show was really disappointing. But like E3, the whole point of it is it's an industry trade show with big publisher press conferences. And now, like, Sony bailed on them in 2019. They weren't there.
Yeah.
They said we quit before the pandemic. Xbox and Bethesda, they can do their own showcase, and Activision by then probably. Ubisoft can do its own thing. EA dropped out as well, but before the pandemic. Sony apparently doesn't even need to do a showcase.
That's what I'm saying,
Nintendo
like-
doesn't need to do a direct. I'm like, I want it to go back the way it was, but the amount of money that it costs these publishers to be at E3 is crazy. And they've shown that they don't need it. So
I think we've moved
I don't know what
like,
E3 is going to be.
I'm excited that it's coming back, whatever that means. It's not going to be E3 as we remember it. I bet it's a 1-year thing.
And they're like, yeah.
And then, I don't know. I think we're going to be let down is what I ultimately think. But
One of the other things I saw is they are talking about Titanic AAA reveals and earth-shaking world premieres.
you don't even know, like, this is so stupid. Like, yeah, you could say that every year. They have no idea what they're talking about.
If Nintendo's not there and Sony's not there and Microsoft's not there, what AAA
Yeah.
reveals that are Titanic? What are you going to have? Assassin's Creed 9? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And it'll probably leak the week before anyways.
probably.
Randomly, you know what I thought the other day? Or no, it was this morning because Immortals was on sale for $15. Remember, like a month or two ago, it leaked that they are working on a sequel for it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I hope that's true. Yeah, my whole thing is like you can't have E3 without the publishers. And like Derek says in the chat, the ESA only survives because of E3 and the amount of money that these publishers have to pay to be there. It's like, or we can just do our own thing.
Right.
Like we've been doing for the last 3 years now. 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
I want it to come back and be the way that it was. I just don't see it
It's
happening.
not. Yeah, it's not going to be.
The last item on the news list, we got some updates on Final Fantasy VII from some interviews that took place over the past week. When it comes to Crisis Core, Square Enix is saying that it's, quote, so much more than a remaster.
I mean, yeah. That's what I said. I don't know why they're calling it.
I don't know that they've called it anything. It's just Crisis.
That's true. Maybe they did
Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, I think, is the name of it. Right?
Maybe, yeah. But yeah, it's definitely not. I don't know. It's weird that they're just saying, yeah, it's more than a remaster. It's a remake. Just call it what it is. It's getting the Final Fantasy VII remake
in one
treatment.
Game,
now, maybe not rewriting the whole
story,
but as far as gameplay experience, now I haven't played Crisis Core, so maybe it's less of a jump than old school turn-based Final Fantasy VII was. But yeah, I don't. It's definitely more than a remaster.
Crisis Core will be targeting 120 frames per second on PC, 60 frames per second on PS5 and Series X and S. The Switch has a, quote, difference in resolution and FPS.
Yeah.
If you want to play this game,
50% difference.
I'm just going to tell you right now, get it on PlayStation or Xbox or PC. Don't buy it on Switch. That Switch, it's crazy that it's only 5 years old.
And
but
it seems
like it's 10 years old.
Yeah.
I love it for first party games. Some people are like, I still don't think Breath of the Wild 2 can run on it. They're going to do a Switch 2 to coincide with the release. I'm like,
you really think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be that different from Breath of the Wild?
Also, Breath of the Wild
that also ran on the freaking Wii U.
We don't know what Breath of the Wild looks like when it doesn't have to cater to the Wii U as well.
Right. Yeah.
So relax on that, guys. It'll be fine. There are completely refreshed character models and backgrounds. We've already seen that with Tifa. It's the Tifa model from Final Fantasy VII Remake. It looks awesome. There's an improved camera and character movements. And somebody said this. Remember, the PSP only had one analog stick. So I don't know how the hell you control the camera in that game. The Vita has two. Vita means life. It does have an optimized user interface. Quote, massively improved controls and a new menu-based battle system similar to 7 Remake. But the slot machine thing is still a feature of combat. This is the one thing I don't understand. If anybody in the chat or watching on YouTube, comment, let me know. I don't understand. Maybe I just need to go look up gameplay of Crisis Core. There's menu-based battle now that's similar to 7 Remake, but there's this slot machine thing where is it just like luck of the draw? What
I'm hoping it is, again, I don't know anything about Crisis Core. I hope when they're saying it's still a feature, I hope it's just, again, not knowing what even was originally. What I hope is Final Fantasy VII Original, there's a character who I always thought was called Kate Sith, Cait Sith, but apparently it's pronounced Cat She. I don't know.
What?
Cat She.
Sith is she?
Yes. Yeah, Cait, I can believe if you want to say that's pronounced cat for some reason.
No.
And he is a cat.
No, AI says
I know.
A.
I get it.
I'll get it.
But anyway, his limit break was like, you roll dice, and depending on what numbers pop up, that's the damage it does. Final Fantasy X, Waka's overdrive
Waka
was like a slot machine. It was reels, and you had to like stop it. You try to match like red to do like ultimate fire damage, or yellow to do lightning damage, or some of his other ones had like 3, 2, 3, and that's how many times your attack would hit. That's what I'm hoping this is, and it's not a prominent.
That doesn't sound horrible.
Yeah, if it's just like, hey, when you do like your super move, your limit break, your overdrive, whatever it's called in this game, I assume there's something like that. There's a slot machine feature to it. I could see that. I think that's fine, just as kind of a wink and a nod to whatever that mechanic was in the first one, but I don't like the sounds of that being... That just reeks of like... I don't like these kinds of mechanics, like... not portable apps, acid or whatever, with like the card-based thing, like all those kinds of mechanics in games. I don't get. I don't know who are you appealing to with this. I don't know anybody that likes that kind of thing to be like the overarching battle system. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm hoping that's all it is. I think that would be totally fine.
There will be new music arrangements, full voiceover for cutscenes that used to be text only. That's cool. Adding to the presentation value. There will be various skip features. They didn't really elaborate on what that means. And there are no plans, in quotes, to include any new elements in the story. If they put anything new in the story, I won't know.
What's weird is this is a prequel to 7 original.
Correct.
But they're obviously, it's the same system. I mean, same character models and everything as 7 Remake. Similar, if not identical, for the most part, battle system. And they're even calling it Reunion, just like Remake and what's the new? Rebirth. So obviously they're framing it in that same vein. I don't know that I fully believe that. It's clearly part of this new universe, whatever you want to call it. And as much as, I don't know, I find it hard to believe that it's just a retelling of the original. Yeah. I don't buy that.
I think I want to play this game.
I might. I'm on the fence.
I don't need it to come out this year, though.
No,
because they've said winter 23, which could really mean December all the way to March.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it being next year, but then next year we've got Forspoken, like a day or two later, Dead Space remake. Oh yeah, also in December this year we got Callisto Protocol, and then in March we've got Resident Evil 4 make.
Oh God, I can't wait.
I cannot wait.
I don't want to see anything like that's one that I'm just like. Nobody needs to be convinced to buy that game.
No, don't.
Everybody already
else.
wants it. Yeah, don't show anything.
Yeah. Just put it up.
Just stealth drop it.
Let me preload it and let's go. And then the only other thing we did get one quick thing on Final Fantasy VII Remaker.
Yeah,
did you do that?
No, I didn't do that, but I saw that.
I think I was supposed to be remaster or remake, and I wrote remaker, and it's not even called remake; it's called rebirth. Anyways, it did come out that Square Enix was thinking of making this only 2 parts instead of a trilogy, as we now know that it is a trilogy. I would have been fine with that.
I would have been fine with it, but I think they kind of backed themselves into a corner with the first one. If you spend all that time on Midgar, it's tough to justify doing the entire rest of the game in one installment.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's only 3 because I feel like it could have been
7
worse than that, but yeah.
Well, that's it for Final Fantasy VII updates. Now it's time for the wrap-up, Sean. As we alluded to earlier, Forspoken has been delayed to January 24th, 2023. It was a strategic move with their partners. The GameStop CFO is out, and there have been major layoffs at GameStop and Game Informer. It sucks, but like GameStop is dead.
Yeah.
They've been dead for a while. They've been the Walking Dead for a while.
We were talking the other day. Oh, it may have been on here, and maybe it was the bonus episode. It was the bonus episode when we were talking about Tape World. That's what GameStop, like 10, 20 years from now, we're going to talk about GameStop like we just talked about Tape World and just busted up laughing about it. That's what GameStop is going to be here in another decade or so.
Rockstar has confirmed there are going to be no more major content updates to Red Dead Redemption Online. Their focus is completely on GTA 6.
Finally.
This came after people were planning funerals in Red Dead Online for Red Dead Online. I think it's kind of funny. It sucks, but yeah. I'm just so interested to see what happens with GTA Online. If we get an Online 2 with 6, can you bring your character over? I put so many hours in that. I don't want to start from 0. Let me bring my character over to the new one, if there is a new one. Or will they just add a new map to Online or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
PlayStation had an indie blog post updates this past week. Got a new trailer for Sea of Stars, which looks awesome.
I can't wait.
And it is officially coming to PlayStation. Before this, we only knew it was coming to Switch and PC. Cult of the Lamb is out August 11th. That just looks crazy. The Tomorrow Children Phoenix Edition is coming back. It's out September 6th. And Inscription, a card-based game that took PC by storm, is coming to PS4 and PS5. I'm looking forward to Forspoken 2, John. I think. It's just now it's like... It was either going to come out at a bad time for me in October or a bad time now 2 days before Dead Space Remake. Because I'm going to play Dead Space Remake. And then maybe after I'm done with that, then I'll get Forspoken if it reviews well. The ABK acquisition by Microsoft is now being investigated by a UK competition regulator. At this point, I'm like, it's going to go through. You can look into it, you can do whatever, but it's gonna go through at this point. Skull and Bones is officially out November 8th for only current gen consoles and PC. Good luck with that. Who is going to play Skull and Bones over God of War? I guess people that don't have a PlayStation.
Basically, yeah.
Xbox has announced that they will be at Gamescom with updates on previously announced games that are coming out over the next year. So no new announcements there. Remember, Sony and Nintendo and a few others already said they will not be there. The Xbox Series has now hit lifetime sales of 260,000 in Japan. This is crazy because the Xbone only sold 114,000 in its entire lifetime. You can see Sony has been focusing way more on the West. Xbox is trying to get a foothold in the East.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Biomutant is getting a current gen update on September 6th. It's a free update if you have the last gen version, or you can buy the current gen version for $40. RoboCop Rogue City got a gameplay trailer. It's coming out June 2023. There was also a new Terminator game that was teased by Nacom, which will be an open-world survival game set between Judgment Day and the formation of John Connor's Resistance. That sounds cool.
That could be good, yeah.
Hitman 3 is getting a new map called Ambrose Island in a free content update this July. That's awesome. Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 apparently is a thing, and it's coming out October 7th. There will be a fully voiced cast, including over 40 iconic Nickelodeon characters. Fall Guys is up to 50 million players in 2 weeks. Now, I did re-download it. I haven't played it yet, but it's sitting there on my XBM, or what's it called? XMB, Cross Media Bar. It's not called that anymore, but
yeah.
I want to go back into it, especially hopefully it'll run better on PS5 than it did on PS4. Ubisoft announced The Division Resurgence is coming out to mobile. It's going to be an open world third-person shooter RPG. You can now sign up to get in on the test for it. Sounds cool, but then you say mobile, and I'm like, is it going to be as bad as Diablo Immortal with the freaking pay-to-win stuff? My God. Pokemon Puzzle League is coming to Switch Online expansion this week. I don't think I'd ever... This is an N64 game. I don't think I ever heard of this. Have you?
I think it sounds familiar, but I couldn't tell you a single thing about it.
It looks like a Columns or a Tetris or one of those when I just saw a screenshot of it. That was a weird. We always get leaks on the PS Plus games before they get announced. So now, of course, we're going to start getting leaks on the PS Plus Extra and Premium games before they come out. So it looks like on July 19th, Sony will be adding Final Fantasy Remake Intergrade, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Ass Creed Unity, Ass Creed Rogue Remastered, Ass Creed Freedom Cry, Ass Creed Ezio Collection, and Saints Row 4 Reelected. So Final Fantasy, a bunch of AC games, and Saints Row 4. That might be fun to jump in for you. Just like, what the hell?
Which one?
Saints Row 4.
Oh, see, I don't know much
GTA.
about that.
Oh, I don't either. It's just GTA, but turned up to 11.
I've never played a single Assassin's Creed game. And I'm like, now I'm just, where would I start? They all just seem... Like, I'm not looking to dive into a big game like that when I know I've got God of War, I've got Last of Us, I've got all these other big games coming. That's why I'm looking for things like The Messenger, Blasphemous, and like little just fill the void kind of games. But those are a lot of big game. I mean, I'm glad to see, even though 80% of it's Assassin's Creed, I'm glad to see that they're adding some legit games. I might actually go check out Intergrade now. But
oh yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
And last but definitely not least, Bandai Namco sent a real sword as a gift and celebration to the legend Let Me Solo Her for killing Melania 1,000 times.
I love this. I love
it's
when...
so cool.
Yeah, I love when companies do this kind of thing and actually, it shows that they are paying attention to, social media and stuff, and they're aware of what's going on. And I mean, killing Melania 1,000 times
I killed
by
her
yourself.
Once. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. That's awesome. I'm really glad they did that.
I killed her ass once, and that took me 75 tries, probably. I wish I would have kept track, but I was getting too pissed off that I couldn't. And that was and the gap between the first 20 times I fought her, and then I was like, F this, I'm going to go find the Rivers of Blood, and then I'm going to go, I can level these up. I got them up to +9. Okay, this is cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Keep leveling up. Rune farm. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, great, they nerfed my freaking things. Oh, no, that's what made me go get the Rivers of Blood. When they nerfed my carrying daggers.
Spell, yeah.
The one thing I worry about if they do end up announcing DLC and it's out this year, first off, am I going to have time to play it? Second off, am I going to remember how to play it?
That I don't know. I feel like, at least for me, I've played enough Soulsborne games that I think it'll come back pretty easily. And that game controls a lot, not a lot different, but just the fact that they added jump to it is different from all the other ones. But I think even having gone and played Dark Souls 3 since I last played, not since I last played, but playing through Dark Souls 3 after having played through Elden Ring, I think I would be able to just get right back into it.
Yeah.
I just hope it's a legit... I know the Bloodborne DLC was supposed to be awesome. I don't know how the DLCs for, the other Soulsborne games have been, but I can't imagine they would just half-ass it. I mean, this is Elden Ring. Even, I feel like if their original plans weren't so great, I feel like with the way it's been received, they're like, no, we got to go all out with this. So it's got to be coming. I hope... I mean, I don't even care if it's this year. I almost maybe would prefer next year.
Yeah.
Because it's the one DLC that I'm actually, other than Cuphead, it's the one DLC that I've actually looked forward to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 288 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank y'all so much for being here. We're going to go try and record Cuphead now and hope we don't die. Well, I mean, we're going to die. Hope we don't kill ourselves is what I should say. But until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.